Hello everyone and welcome back, and for those new people on the channel, a very warm welcome to you as well. Today I'm going to be doing a review on a DeWalt DWM-T70773 air impact wrench. You may have noticed on my channel, for those of you who have been around a while, that I don't do a whole lot of reviews. Just decided to do a review on this one because I am very impressed with this air tool. Now, I don't have a whole lot of experience with air tools, only what I've seen in garages and some friends in the area have been using. I have to be honest with you, I haven't seen anybody in the area using a DeWalt air impact wrench. But given my experience so far with this tool, I'm very impressed. So I'm going to continue on now and give you the specifications of this model. It's a half-inch drive, as you can see. It came with the nozzle, as you see, is protruding through the bottom of the box because I want to put it back into the box there. And it came with lubrication oil, as we mentioned in the first video I did. It's a clutch type. The clutch type, sorry, is a twin hammer, and it has a maximum torque of 600 plus pounds. I think it's 650. Its free speed is 7,500 RPM, and blows per minute is 1,100 BPM. The net weight I had mentioned, I thought it was close to 7 pounds, but it's 4.63 pounds, so it's a bit lighter than what I thought. It's the air inlet is typical. It's 1/4 inch, and of course is a 3/8. It recommends a 3/8 hose, and the maximum pressure for this is 90 psi. It says you have to set your regulator to 90 because it can do damage to the equipment. Basically, what I want to show you is the ability. What the keen thing about this is, you can actually control. You see the this here controls the reverse, forward and reverse. Now it says you can control it, but where I have my hands aren't so big, it's a bit cumbersome for me, but it does say that it's a one-handed operation. Now, it's comfortable in my hand for using, but I always find reaching this way to put it forward or reverse. So if you have a smaller hand, now my hand is not small, but I guess it's not what you'd call big. And like I say, if I'm holding this, I really can't get my thumb. You see how you can get it on the back as well with this finger, but my thumb is just a little bit short. But it does feel good in the hand. It feels a little bit top heavy, but it's definitely comfortable. So I definitely use two hands in controlling the forward and reverse. A neat feature. I don't know if it's with all, but it vents its air through the bottom, so it doesn't blast air at you. I've been using a different type of air gun. A nail gun on a roof, and you had to adjust a little thing to send the air out of your face or the direction of the people that were around you. So it's kind of like a little nozzle that you could turn. So that's pretty neat, because this here will always be away from you, so you're not going to be getting no blast of air. Back here is your it's kind of like a regulator of sort. You can put it on low, medium, and high, as I mentioned in the first unboxing. And basically, I had a wonderful experience with this tool so far, and we're going to move on to part 2. The other things that I want to discuss about this air impact wrench is, on either side you have this kind of like a rubber metal plate, but it's rubber on it, and they call it bumpers. I guess that's for protecting the tool so it doesn't get banged up too much. I did notice, before I forget, that the plastic does kind of hold the grease and the grime, and you can get it off, but it takes a little bit of cleaning. So the gun does, I guess it would be the same thing with any other tool. You know, if you're in a dirty environment, it's going to get dirty. But you know, when I first used the gun, I looked down and I seen all this bright yellow, and I could see it's getting a bit grummy. Now this, like I say, will come off, but it's going to take a bit of work with some sort of cleaner. The other thing I liked about this tool, and I guess they're all the same, is that the trigger is actually sensitive to touch. So I mean, you can actually feather it to get the tool to spin slowly, and then you can engage it fully if you want, and everything in between. So it's kind of like a variable speed in that regard. They call this a composite body, and there's high impact, I suppose. So I guess it would absorb some shock and probably wouldn't take as much damage as say aluminum chassis. But I would suspect this is probably aluminum inside anyway, inside this casing. The other thing I wanted to mention about the tool is it's a 1/2-inch drive, of course, and typically I think most that I've seen have been 1/2-inch drive, but there are, surprisingly to me, actually 3/4-inch drives. So that's pretty interesting. I didn't realize that. And of course, there's ones you can get that have 3/8 drive, and I would suspect maybe even quarter drive, but I don't know. I'm not going to delve into that. But it looks like the 1/2-inch drive is the common one that people select. With regard to my experience with this tool so far, I was using, or I should say I am using, a Mastercraft 8-gallon compressor. And I set the regulator at 90 pounds. I did the 4 rims on my Ford Focus, and I zipped the tires off, the rims off, of course, 5 bolts, and I reinstalled, and I think the compressor came on twice in that span of time. Now, when I started, the compressor was full. I think it holds 110 to 120 pound, I believe, and the regulator is set at 90. And I do recall the compressor kicking in twice. Now, that was during the operation, so it's hard to say how long it would have ran. If a person was to continue doing tires, but it would appear that in the taking off of 4 rims and installing the rims again, compressor coming in twice and probably running for maybe 45 seconds. That would be about it. So 1 minute and 30 seconds of air time, running time to get the air back up on pressure for the removal and installation of 4 rims. So anyway, that's pretty much all that I can disclose about the DeWalt. Personally, I could say I would recommend this tool, but I'm sure there's better tools out there. This tool here I got at Canadian Tire. It wasn't on sale, as best I could tell. Some places were more expensive. I got this tool for $192 out the door, but I've seen places where they're selling for like $260 and $280. So there's a big price differentiation depending on where you're shopping. So definitely, if you're looking for any type of tool, you have to do some shopping. You have to shop around. So I got this for about less than $200. It's considered, I guess, middle of the road in terms of quality, and it's not the top tool. But it's not the bottom. And I could have started off with the cheaper one, but I decided to go with something middle of the road, and I should be quite happy. The reviews are very few on this, by the way. For some reason, I guess it's just not a popular tool right now. You'll see a lot of Campbell Fords, I think it is, Ingersoll Rand. Of course, Stanley's got one out, I believe, and all the other big, tool departments. Canadian Tire puts out a couple of air tools, ratchets and wrenches, and so that you can pretty well shop till you drop, I guess, when it comes to picking up any kind of tool, and especially in the air tool department. There's lots to choose from and lots of reviews. As for the DeWalt, there's not a whole lot on the go, so that's why I really want to get on the ball and just do a review, even though I don't have a whole lot of experience with air tools. I can just tell you I would give this tool, based on my experience, I would give it 8.5 to a 9 out of 10. The only thing, like I say, is this switch. It says it's a one-handed operation, and it is, I guess, but you see I got to hold the grip and I just can't get the button. I have to lean, so I just basically, you see that? Now on the other side I can do that no problem, but I don't think that's the proper way to be doing it. I thought it would be like a thumb operation. So I'm just a bit short, and I guess that's because, you know, my hand is not the biggest. So that's my only complaint about the tool. Other than that, I'm very happy with it. It certainly is fast. I use an electric impact gun, a Mastercraft. It's an older one and a heavier one and a bigger one. Very cumbersome, and that worked. The electric one did work, but it didn't work as well as this. This here was very fast. It's like, I'd say probably, if you could take off 5 lugs on a rim in 1 minute, with the Mastercraft, this will take it off in 20 seconds. It's as fast as you can get it onto the nut. You get your impact socket on there, and it just phenomenal. And it didn't seem like it was doing any grunting or straining or groaning, and it sounded perfect. So that's pretty well it for this review. 8.5 to 9. I'd like to hear some people chime in on this channel about this tool if they've used it, because there's very little online, and I'm hoping to get more information on it in the future as people start to put up videos and such. But I don't suppose there's going to be many, because it seems like people are going for the more popular brands, such as Ingersoll Rand and all those companies that have been around forever putting out air tools. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great day. We'll be putting up a video again sometime in the future. Looking forward to see you guys drop by once again.